All right, so I welcome everyone here again on this platform, Gmeet. After a very long time, we are meeting here. Congratulations to all of those who have cleared prelims, APSC prelims, Junokolo clear hoise this times. This time, a very uh, like heartiest congratulations from Dream Zone IS. And at the same time, I also wish you all the best for the mains. I hope that you all are trying your best securing to secure the best of the marks. আপোনালোকে সকলোৰ ফালৰ পৰাই definitely চাগে হয়তো full time preparation start কৰিছে. Answer writing is a must, like I've already mentioned, and I have already like always been telling you guys that answer writing is a must for clearing any mains or any kind of essay or any kind of subjective kind of papers. So I believe that everything on a target basis is being strategized at your end, and more than that, I also hope that you are having the confidence to fare well in the exams. So আমি যোনটো program আজি start কৰিম, this will be mostly from the point of view of APSC mains. For essay, however, I have included one or two more exams, for example, CDPO. So some of you who might not be appearing for APSC also, they might have been getting the link and you might have joined here. So don't worry, it is the same platform. The same tips will work for both APSC and CDPO, since both of these exams are being conducted by the commission itself. So kind of just the marks are different, just the amount that you're going to put in the essays, that is going to be different. Kintu protocol to আৰু basically যোনখিনি আপোনালোকৰ basic errors and some like protocol basic errors and the way that you should proceed with the essays, that is almost similar. Okay, so you don't need to worry যে APSC কাৰণে হয় যিহেতু so CDP কাৰণে কাম নাহিব তেনেকুৱা নহয়. Either way, both of the examinations or both of the candidates who are preparing for either one of them or both of them, you will be hopefully definitely like at a advantageous position if you are following this video or if you're following this class today. Okay, so in the previous few, I would say a month or so, even more than that, we have had some mains writing আমাৰ program এটা আছিলে আছে এতিয়াও চলি আছে অফ কোৰ্স. সো সেই প্ৰগ্ৰামখিনিত আমি বহুতখিনি এছে এনালাইজ কৰিছিলোঁ ফ্ৰম CDPO পইণ্ট অফ ভিউ. অলছ' উই হেভ এনালাইজড এ ফিউ of the essays. আমি কিছুমানক তেনেকৈ পাৰ্চনেল মেণ্টৰশ্বিপ কণ্টিনিউ কৰি আছিলোঁ. বাট what I thought was important here was যে কিছুমান errors and কিছুমান mistakes we have seen on a very generalized way when it comes to an essay. So what I have actually compiled today is a group of errors and a group of doubts, I would say, যোনখিনি আপোনালোকৰ সকলো কেণ্ডিডেটৰ মাজত in general I have seen that it is prevailing. In general আপোনালোকৰ এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ doubts বা এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ mistakes I have been observing, and based on that I have strategized today's session. All of these points, I would say, this is a part of last minute preparation because you need to take care of these points to secure some good marks in essay. Okay, you might not work on possibly হ'ব পাৰে যে আপোনালোকৰ লাষ্ট মিনিটত আপোনালোকে বহুত টপিকছ কভাৰ কৰিব নোৱাৰে, কিন্তু সেই টপিকছ যোনখিনি আপোনালোকে কভাৰ কৰে এটলিষ্ট সেই ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিটো আপোনালোকে যাতে follow kore. There are few things that are very essential to follow, and based on the errors that the candidates have been continuously committing, this session revolves around that. If at all you have some extra doubt, if at all you see that apnalokor falor pra enekwa dhonor kiba extra error ba extra apnalok comment pai ase, jodi hetu rectify koribole apnar kiba dhonor suggestion lage, then that we can address at the end of the meeting. As of now, we are going to see only the generalized mistakes that every or one or two candidates out of every three candidates they commit usually. Okay, first one, the most generalized error that I've seen is usage of quotations. See, let me tell you one thing. Use of quotations মানে startingত আমি যেতিয়া কিবা এটা within quotes কোনোবা এজন মহান ব্যক্তিয়ে বা কোনোবা এটা ভাল ধৰণৰ যেতিয়া আমি quotation দেখো, okay, said by Aristotle, said by Jawaharlal Nehru, said by Mahatma Gandhi, anything XYZ, people have a tendency to use those quotes at the very start, which is a very good habit, which is a very good technique to start an essay with. Also, it backfires. Now, this is the point where I have been a bit like always skeptical about using quotations. If your quotation does not match the particular topic, if your quotation is not simple, please keep things in mind. If your quotation is not direct, okay, tenekwa dhonor quotations kindly use nokoribo. What I've seen usually is that the candidates use a quotation, but then the quotation to বহুত ঘৰুৱা পকোৱাকে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ presentation এটা দিয়ে, হয়তো you have to think a bit about the quotation যে how you are relating it with the topic. So that kind of struggle এটা readerজনৰ mindত হ'ব নালাগে. Okay, when you write a quotation it should be very direct. When you write a quotation it should be very direct and simple, which means that the direct meaning of the topic should be reflected in your quotation. For example, today's sample topic or babe ami loise tourism and its potential in Assam. Okay, so related to tourism and its potential in Assam, you don't have to write something which Aristotle had, like I said, a few had written something like that. বহুত ধৰণৰ technical and বহুত ধৰণৰ ঘৰুৱা পকোৱা quotation বিলাক kindly use নকৰিব. Okay, I had seen an essay which was very interesting, and in that essay, in fact, Bhupen Hazarika গান এটা দি start কৰিছিলে অসম আমাৰ ৰূপহী গুণৰো নাই শেষ. Even that quotation, that song itself, the candidate had used it in the quotation, which was a very good innovation, and I would say a very direct interpretation of the entire topic. So kind of আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা নহয় যে মানে জেনাৰেলাইজ কৰিবলৈ আপোনালোকে বহুত হাই ফাই বা টেকনিকেল কিবা কোটেশনৰ লিষ্ট এটা লাগে. You can use anything from a song itself also, if it is, of course, it has to be decent, it has to be kind of relatable, সেইটো হ'বই লাগিব. আৰু পৰাপক্ষত ভূপেন হাজৰিকা নিচিনা তেখেতৰ নিচিনা এজন ৰিনাউণ্ড ফিগাৰৰ যদি হয়, it is good enough. Okay, do not try to twist or do not try to use very technical quotations in your answers, in your essays basically. Even if you want to do it in GS answers, even if you want to do it in your general studies answers, it's the same strategy. Do not try to implement quotations which are not direct, which are not simple. Okay, please mind these keywords. আপোনালোকে quotation listing বনাওঁতে এইটো চাবই, যদি আপুনি নিজে যদিও বুজি পাইছে, you can show the quotation to a third person, you can show it to your peers, you can show it to any evaluator you have. Okay, so তেতিয়া দেখালে তেখেতক you can take a guidance, because it may be possible that you might see the meaning but the other person may not. So take a unanimous quotation which can be understood in a very layman language by all of the people. Okay, so there might be a few of those tourism related jeneke ejone likhisile about something about like where the entire tourism it makes the person open, it makes something related to that. It was very simple to understand. As mane more entire the point here is that you should use quotations, but don't try to make it very technical. The only thing that will backfire in your essay, in your introduction, is if you use a technical quotation, because readers honor পঢ়ি থাকোঁতে it should not pressurize him. You have to make things simple for him. You have to, him or her, the invigilator or the examiner, you have to make your essay in a very simplified and a soft form, in a soft form where you don't have to put much pressure, put hi-fi English, put hi-fi vocabulary loi pelai you don't have to write an essay. Okay, so that is the agenda. Second, I have seen many candidates design stories, which is also a very good attempt. Many candidates, they have at the very start, they'll use for example, if they write on poverty, for example, if they write on tourism, they pick up a person, some Lalita XYZ Ram Sham teneke kori pela, they make a storyline, which is also good. Okay, the only problem here is that you cannot write a story if it is not impactful enough. Okay, there's a difference in creating a story and there's a difference in just writing a story. There is a difference. Jodi apnaloke story eta create korise, that innovation hobo lagibo. Okay, that innovation hobo lagibo, ei duta word apnaloke monot rakhibo, that impact eta hobo lagibo. In a layman story eta likhi pela, for example, in tourism what people have done is they write Lalita went to this and that, and I'm just giving an example. For example, Ravi, he went to this place, he went to his grandma's place, and then he saw Kaziranga National Park on the way. This kind of story is not impactful. Okay, this kind of story is not impactful. It will not bring up a very good effect on your essay. So that is not going to help. So my request for you guys is, tourism বা potential যদি আসামত আপোনালোকে দেখাব পাৰিছে, then you have to pick up some weak point য'ত আপোনালোকে or some strong point. For example, in tourism, I as of now I don't come up with any story, so I will mostly go to the generic definitions directly. But to a poverty case, so poverty case, you'll come up with an impactful story, right? Some person was deprived of poverty, because of that he or she was a dropout, because of that he or she could not get medical emergency medical treatment napale. So those are impactful stories which should give an overview the gravity of the situation is very high. Okay, that in the storyline you should prove that the problem is very grave, it is a very important topic where you want to ponder. That is why you design a story. You do not design a story to create leisure. You design a story to be innovative. Hey, what to apnaloke monot rakhibo, okay? You have to be innovative, you have to be impactful. Without an impact, do not write a story. Writing a story without an impact will be like dead start. Okay, so there's no point adding layman stories, for example, in tourism, je kunuba kabar aita ko ghor gol. So those stories will not bring up a good point. Okay, that kind of stories you have to avoid. In tourism, if you want to put up a good story, then you can start, for example, safari go pelai, they saw a particular new species, or they saw a particular, so integrity sorry, intrigueness to create whole, right? Because Assam is such a mane biodiversity case of imane diversified whole, you can write stories like that. For example, there was a wildlife photographer. He went on a photo shoot in the territory of Kaziranga or Manas, and then he saw a species which was not found in any, or he was not aware of that particular species, but it was found in Assam. So you have to create such kind of stories where there should be a minimum holo at impact থাকিব লাগিব. Okay, you have to prove your point that there is potential in Assam. You have to prove your point that there's a challenge in Assam. Okay, I hope I'm clear till here. Two of the points I've told you. Every point on apnaloke at least use koribo, or mane dimension to suppose if you use it in a proper way, it will be a blockbuster. If you don't use it in a proper way, then it is going to backfire. You see that, okay? Quotation jodi bhalke use nokore, it is going to backfire totally. Okay, the person will not get a good meaning out of it, and starting with a stress ho jabo, he or she will not like to give you good marks ahead, or he or she will not be interested in reading your essay ahead. In the same way, designing a story, if it is not impactful, then he or she will not like to continue. Even if he or she continues, introduction apnar impact to kom hoar babe tat apnar marks cut khai jabo. Okay, so make it simple. Do not try to introduce both. Okay, usage of quotations on one quotation itself is enough. Do not try to overdo it. Too much of something is not good বুলি যে কয় তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কথা এটা হয়. So quotation আপোনাৰ ওচৰত তিনটা চাৰিটা আছে বুলি তাতে তিনটা চাৰিটা লিষ্টিং কৰি নিদিব. It gives a bad impression. Okay, you can use quotations in the middle, you can use quotation in the end. এটা balance ৰাখিব. Okay, and remember, essay is all about a balance. Okay, essay is very much about a balance. The person's mind and the person's setup, okay, it totally reflects in the essay. I have checked like around এতিয়ালৈকে চাগে আমি approximately 100 to 200 essays check কৰিছো, আৰু এই 100 to 200 essays আমি minimum there are only 5 to 10 essays where we find the balance. Otherwise there's always an imbalance. ক'ৰবাত কিবা এটা লিখিলে ক'ৰবাত কিবা এটা মিছ হৈ যায়. Okay, all right, next, after you use quotations, after you are able to design a story, tar pisot ami keneke korim, tare amar a next duta point, you have to keep these 2 points into consideration for any essay, whether you are writing a departmental essay, for example, for any exams like forest ranger or soil hawk, বা ধৰি লওক আপোনাৰ CDPR হওক বা ইনস্পেক্টৰৰ কাৰণে পোষ্ট হওক, any exam where you are asked to write an essay, okay, mostly topic wise আপোনাৰ relevant to your field দিব. If it is relevant to your field, then you should always add some statistics. Okay, you should always add some statistics. Second kotha to hoise the transition from your story or from your quotation to the statistics to the introduction, it should always be in a flow. There should be a flow. You cannot write separate things. By this I mean, I'll give you an example on this. Okay, for example, you wrote a quotation. Okay, next apnaloke jump korile, for example apnaloke likhile অসম আমাৰ ৰূপহী গুণৰ নাহেক, and suddenly you start tourism is this, it is a definition this. No, you cannot do that. You have to first try to link the first two statements with the quotation at least. অসম আমাৰ ৰূপহী বুলি কৈ পেলাই you can relate it from the quotation, or sorry, from the saying, but from the song itself, it is seen, it is মানে explained by এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ language টো আপোনালোকে বনাব পাৰিব definitely, যে Assam has been bestowed with beauty, Assam has been bestowed with natural biodiversity, etc., etc. So try to link it first. Then you go based on that. You can first go to statistics, but you can go to the definition of tourism. Similarly, if you write a story, for example, you have written a story that the wildlife photographer came, he saw a new species. So then you can go to the next paragraph or the next session, next Jundami start korim je such incidences of wildlife photographers or any experimentalists or any scientist, wildlife scientist, they have always been discovering new species in Assam, given to the fact that Assam has is bestowed with natural beauty, with wildlife, with blah blah blah, তেনেকে আপোনালোকে continue কৰিব. So that what you need basically is a connectivity, is a flow is required. If you write independent divisions, then the essay's beauty never comes out. Your thought process will never fall in place. For example, if you write the quotation, and for example if you write the story, আপোনালোকে wildlife story to লিখিলে, and then suddenly you directly come up that tourism is industry, it means that movement of people, this and that. No, like that it will not work. You come to that, but you have to find a like what do you call it, a flow first. You have to interlink it first, connect it first, and the same thing goes for the entire essay. Okay, the same thing goes for the entire essay. য'ত আমি নোৱাৰো connect কৰিব তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ জেগাত you have to ponder 2 to 3 minutes how to connect the lines. And how to do that? For that you always have to pre-structure your essay. Okay, that will come to it. আমি first components খিনি চাই লওঁ, errors খিনি general চাই লওঁ, then we will come to it. After getting this, you will understand how you pre-structure an essay. Okay, so the third point, statistics. Statistics is important because statistics give an idea. This is the first I would say যোনটো আমাৰ basic foundation আমাৰ যে আছে নে নাই, বা basic knowledge টো আমাৰ আছে নে নাই, and even more so basic information আমাৰ আছে নে নাই on the essay, that is mostly given profoundly by the statistics. If you have good statistics, and by statistics এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আপোনালোকে 10-15টা statistics গোটাই লৈছে. For example, all the important like essay topics, mostly আমাৰ 3টা-4টা essay topics মানে কিছুমান dimensions আছে য'ৰ পৰা আমি essay topics বিলাক কৰোঁ, right? For example, we do women, then we go for poverty, then we go for environment related, that I mean disaster beleke korim tate ami eblabar ami mostly amar essay writing programs and mains of programs ami ebla kori asu. But apnaluke definitely nijor falopa ei dimensions kini check kori ase hopefully. The sub dimension apni directly blankly jikono essay apnaluke practice korbo na lage. There are particular dimensions that you have to touch. So for all these dimensions, you should take at least 3 to 4 statistics. Okay, 3 to 4 statistics মানে কেনেকে উলিয়াব? For example, different reports, poverty related হৈ গ'ল যেনিবা, different reports লৈ ল'লে, Oxfam or inequality report এটা হৈ গ'ল, then global hunger index GHI তাৰ এটা ranking হৈ গ'ল, then we have SDG ৰ আমাৰ কিছুমান reports থাকে, নীতি আয়োগৰ কিছুমান report আছে. So তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ 4-5টা আপোনালোকে report লৈ ল'লে. Reportত কি ল'ব আপোনালোকে? Any kind of numbers, for example percentage of poverty, then there is MPI index যোনটো আমাৰ, right? কিছুমান এনেকুৱা index হয় যে আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ষ্টেটাছটো কি, অসমৰ ষ্টেটাছটো কি. অ'কে, both of these dimensions you have to cover up. Then for example, Oxfam inequality 2023 কিছুমান generalized important reports আছে for every topic. তেনেকে এনভাইৰনমেণ্টত UNEP-ৰ হ'ব পাৰে, ইউনাইটেড নেশ্যনছৰ নিজৰ ৰিপৰ্ট হ'ব পাৰে, IPCC-ৰ নিজৰ ৰিপৰ্ট হ'ব পাৰে. সেই তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিছুমান লেমান ৰিপৰ্টছ সদায় চব টপিক্সৰ থাকে যোনখিনি আমি GS-ৰ কাৰণে পঢ়োঁ. So the same content can be or should be used in the essay also. Okay, and like for example, you have a few reports. If you are done with reports, then after that you have to just place it in the essay. So placing in the essay is also very important. Ete apnaloke jodi directly Oxfam ba teneke report eta global hunger index without any relation jodi directly in the introduction place koi diye, then that will also not work. So you have to also know je apnaloke in mane statistics to quote place korise. For example, in introduction mostly we given in overview. For example, jodi poverty kotha koi dile tete ami generally how much poverty is there in our like one sec. So how much poverty lies in the state of Assam, how much poverty lies in India, তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আমি percentage হওক, numbers হওক. So you can put up approximate values. Okay, approximate values are মানে হৈছে, for example, the value is something like this, 34,962. Okay, you can just simply write approximately 30,000. তেনেকে লিখিলেও problem নাই, because ইমান এটা ডিজিট লৈকে আমাৰ statistics এতিয়া আপোনালোকে এটা এছে লিখিছে কাৰণে মনত থাকিব, but in the examination hall you are never going to remember most of it. So try to remember an approximate numbers. For example, forest cover suppose আমাৰ 34.21% আছে, so you can just remember approximately 34%. হিমানো যদি আপোনালোকে লিখে, it's more than enough. If it is about some like how much population is affected বা কিমান unemployment আছে, সেইবিলাক PFLR report যোনটা আমাৰ থাকে, right? People's Labor Force, PLFR report. So these are some reports. আমি particular reports কিন্তু আমি definitely ইমান কম টাইমত discuss কৰিব নোৱাৰো, but just for an overview, I hope you're getting it. Every particular topic will have some international, national reports. In that report, kindly try to check the statistics. যে আপোনালোকে ইন নাম্বাৰছ কিমান এফেক্টেড হয় অ'কে এণ্ড কিমান ধৰণৰ ধৰি লওক হোৱাট ইজ দি ল' লাইন ষ্টেটাছ যদি বহুত বেয়া অৱস্থা বা যদি ভাল অৱস্থা হয় দেন হোৱাট ইজ দি গুড ষ্টেটাছ both ways you have to consider okay the more the statistics in your answer the more effective it is reader ke dimag mein mane you can create a very good image that you have good amount of information about the topic knowledge je ase hetu statistics upar sobotki easily you can show off okay apart from that jiman apnaloke generalized statements nilikhok kyo for example you can write it down that unemployment is a reason for the underlying poverty in our country but how much unemployment is there you can also write that women are the worst hit of disasters but how much percentage of women are the worst hit of disasters okay so likewise you should always enhance your content and this is called content enrichment for every topic on essays all probable topics on apnaloke at least 3 ta ba 4 ta teneke dhornor statistics gutai lobo those statistics don't try to put it up or don't try to merge it in one particular or one particular space itself এনেকুৱা নহয় যে পাইছো যেতিয়া আমি এটা পিছত এটা for example you let's say this is a paragraph on like for example in poverty law যেটা poverty কৰিছো for example so you write MPI index ত ইমান হল GH ত আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ইমান ranking এনেকৈ গোটেইখিনি এটা paragraphতে ক্লাব কৰি নিদিব use the statistics to your advantage যেতিয়া সেই টপিকটো আহিব তেতিয়া try to relate it introduction এটা দুটা দিলে more than enough then it should be like a teaser then again go to the next few paragraphs again go to one or more topics tate hetu drag koribo statistics apnar osot ase already all you have to do is just drag your topics right enekon nohoy je apnaloke topic or mote content or mote statistics gutabo no you create your statistics and then you stretch it and extend it to your essay content okay you stretch it and extend it to your essay content all right so there's a difference okay I hope I'm getting I mean you're getting the idea here I hope I'm able to reach you guys so we have taken 3-4 like topics into consideration right now eta error hoise quotations on it's good you use it but don't overdo it then designing the story don't use layman stories without an impact that is not going to help in the introduction addition of statistics should be very clever okay you cannot put up and pile up everything in one go design it in a way that part by part you are able to present it okay at least 2-3 statistics in the topic itself in the introduction itself should be put up okay to present the gravity of the situation jetia ami numbers diu tetia buji pa jay je kiman important but kiman beya obostha hoise ba kiman bhal obostha hoise okay that is important then structure and flow like I said I've already explained je quotation likhile boli independent components ketiyao ni likhibo try to link up components so that the reader always finds it interesting to go on like next to next keneke ase he bostu tu apnaloke connection eta rakhibo keneke connection rakhibo I have showed for introduction body and content or karone keneke rakhibo lage we'll get to know in the subsequent sessions next few errors are these Ehini errors are the most common errors that almost 90% of the candidates do in their essays. Okay. First and foremost thing is, see, this is a bias that we will have in our essays. You have to link your components with Assam. Even if it says tourism in India, you have to come and switch it over Assam. All of your content apni Assamot dibo lagibo. If you're writing 10 examples, then 3 example apnaloke Assamot dibo lagibo. For example, you write natural beauty, so you write natural beauty apnaloke tourism case of side example lele. For example, if the tourism was concerned with India and not for Assam alone, okay, so you write tourism natural beauty suppose wildlife tourism duta example apnaloke north of India dile দুটা example apnaloke west or dile দুটা example south or dile and one or three examples you have to come to eastern side and specifically Assam okay stick to Assam then for example if you are writing some government schemes then you mostly jeta apnaloke way forward likhibo jeta apnaloke likhibo je government initiative ki loise তেতিয়া সেই গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট ইনিচিয়েটিভছত নেশ্যনেলটো লিখিলে ভেৰি গুড বাট ইউ হেভ টু মেনশ্যন অসমে কি ষ্টেটাছ লৈছে বা অসমে কি ষ্টেণ্ড লৈছে অ'কে ইভন ইফ দি কুৱেশ্যন ডাজ নট ডিমাণ্ড ফৰ দেট বাট ইউ হেভ টু ইউ শুড এড আপ অৰ ইউ শুড লিংক আপ উইথ আছাম because somehow there's a bias essays will definitely look for it how much content you have added for Assam at least and it does not mean that you're told bahut generalized hori kiba ahi gol and you're not able to drag it then জবৰদস্তি আপোনালোকে কৰিব নালাগে and তাৰ আমি examples বিলাক আপোনালোকে যদি essay practice কৰি থাকে যোন সকলৰ আমি চাই আছো তাত definitely আমি হেতু add up as a comment কৰিয়ে দিও but at max try to link it up with Assam okay any topic or just try to link up with Assam. Next is addition of examples, introduction and body. This is a must in every essay. Okay. The same goes for GS also. Whatever main factor, whatever main I would say apnaloke main body jenekwa dhornore content nidiok kyo you always have to substantiate it. Okay, please understand this keyword. I have always been commenting in essays, you have to substantiate it with introduction, sorry, examples. By examples I mean, you have written adventure sports in tourism. Okay, you have written adventure sports in tourism. ইয়াতে আপোনালোকে তিনটা লাইন লিখি দিলে that অসমত ট্ৰেকিং কৰিব পাৰি, অসমত natural trails আছে অসমত, even national parks of ভিতৰত trekking আছে, we have hill treks, etc, etc. You write very beautifully, you have given a very beautiful description, all round description of the entire adventure tourism in Assam. But where is it in Assam? Where is it in Assam that you'll find such options that you have to address with the help of examples? And this is a very small example that I'm giving for anything, even for women related hok kiba hok, you always have to give examples. Jodi women empowerment ahi gol, sports jodi likhise sports ai duta example diok, culture jodi likhise culture duta example diok. Okay, environment suppose likhise environment ot keneke dhorne kun manu hokole keneke kun environmentalist keneke kaam korise, he listing bilak personality basis example dibo. Okay, jaga jodi koise ta jaga khini example dibo. So whatever noun you're using, place, person or anything, okay, whatever noun you're using there, you have to give an example for that. Okay, for example, adventure tourism apni Dima Hasao likhi dile, Nameri likhi dile, Kaziranga trek safari likhi dile, we have eco land, we have Rani Junbulama waterfalls ase. So like that, for mane Sandubi hok, anything that comes to your mind, at least substantiate it with as many examples you can. Okay, lagile apnaloke tourism opor jeta apna statement likhibo, hetu lagile apnaloke saita thai tinta line likhok, aru he eta line ot to save time, he eta line ote at least you have to sum up your entire examples. At least sorry, maine ki eta line or thait apni eta additional line likho on examples only. Okay, so the idea is that you have to show the person, again the same goes with statistics, that you have to show that you have a good grip on the, or you have a good awareness of the topic. It's not just generic statements that you're writing, but you should substantiate it with examples. Any topic you give me, anything you give me right now, মই আপোনালোকক কৈ দিব পাৰিম যে এইটো এক্সাম্পল আপোনালোকে ভৰাব লাগিব. সো সেই টেকনিকটো আপোনালোকে আহিব যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে rigorously if you start practicing your essay. Okay, then you have the information and the demand of essay, or demand of this is question buli ata higol GSO karne, but actually it should be essay here. So this is one of the biggest drawbacks that candidates do. Okay, for example, tourism likhile, tourism ot kunubai ki kori dibo 10 ta point likhi jabo je how to reach Assam. Okay, that is wrong. The question is not asking you that. Then there'll be points where they might ask you, I mean they've asked you tourism, but you are writing how to uh, go for, or how to go for local guides, or how to get to local guides. So tenekwa dhoroner information is not required in the question. Stick to the demand of the question always. Jodi poverty likhise tete apnaloke 1.5 page poverty definition ba poverty keneke ami calculate koru hetu por nalage amar. Okay, poverty and its effects, poverty and its problems, poverty and its challenges jodi koise, you have to stick to the keywords. You have to show poverty, you have to show the challenges. You don't have to show how you calculate. Tendular committee ki koile keta lakhar wala line ase, BPL line ki hoy. People are writing 1.5 to 2 pages on that. So that is not required. Okay, that is a total, I would say, wastage of time hobo, and the reader is not interested directly apnalokor he component tur pra marks deduct ho jabo. Okay, so demand of the essay should always be kept in line, kept in mind, and for that you will have to pre-structure essay juntu we will subsequently do in the end session. Okay, end of the session. Next is dimensions. You have to address as many dimensions as possible. Okay, as many dimensions mane jeti apnalokor tourism in Assam koi dile ki dhonor tourism ase, kisumane pilgrim likhibo, kisumane ethnic likhise, kisumane natural likhile, and then wildlife tourism, that's it. But there are many dimensions of tourism. Okay, you can go for culture, pilgrim, ethnic, tribal, film tourism is there, medical tourism is there, Assam as a gateway, soft power diplomacy and tourism ase. Okay, tea tourism ase, natural beauty will deal to natural tourism thakibo. So you have to cover as many dimensions as possible, because writing just 3-4 dimensions will not help you. Kisumane ki korise, candidates, few of them, what you do is you write 2 of them, but you write like 3-4 pages on one dimension. That is not going to help. Very skewed information, very less information on, I mean, the other way around. Okay, let me rephrase it. Broad information on 3 topics, and very narrowed down or enough information on 10 topics. The latter one will be more useful for you. মানে আপোনালোকে যদি 3টা টপিকত 3খন পেজ লিখিছে আৰু 10টা টপিকত আপোনালোকে সেই 3খন পেজত লিখিছে, সেই 10টা টপিক লিখা জনহে মার্কস বেছি পাব. Okay, so my idea is যে আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা নহয় যে এটা লাইন লিখিব, you have to enhance it also. So for that you have to study, for that you have to collect your content. Okay, so my request is that this I cannot be of most help into this because this is different from topic to topic. বেলেগ বেলেগ টপিকত বেলেগ বেলেগ ডিমেনশ্যনছ থাকিব, কিন্তু সেই টপিকছবিলাকতে আপোনালোকে ডিমেনশ্যন ইনক্ৰিজ কৰিবলৈ ইউ হেভ টু ষ্টাডি. চ' সেইকাৰণে যোনখিনি আমি বেচিক যে আমাৰ টপিকছ আছে, ধৰি লওক এভৰি এছে কাৰণে মষ্ট প্ৰবেবল যে আমাৰ 10-12টা ডিমেনশ্যন আছে, সেই গোটেইখিনিৰে আপোনালোকে এটলিষ্ট কণ্টেণ্ট বনাই ৰাখিব লাগিব. Okay, and all of that content comes from GS papers itself. যদি CDPO কাৰণে কোনোবাই কৰি আছে, then definitely আপোনালোকৰ sociology content-ৰ পৰা সেইখিনি you should cover up. Okay, so dimensions you have to cover. Demand of the essay or the question you have to always you to should you মানে definitely এটো কেতিয়াও compromise নকৰিব, because that gives a very bad impression যদি আপোনালোকে beyond the demand কিবা কিবি যদি লিখি দিয়ে, it brings a very bad impression. Okay, next, very important, main body and conclusion. Okay, in conclusion try not to put facts, which means conclusion jeta apnaloke likhise tat goi pela apnaloke nilikhibo je more that GDP contribution of tourism is iman. Conclusion mein you don't put facts. Okay, that is a very wrong notion. Many candidates, out of 10 at least 5 candidates will do this. What they will do is they'll start writing information, they'll start writing or putting facts in the conclusion, which is not required. Whatever content, whatever facts, whatever dimensions you want to add up, you have to add in the main body itself. You have to drag it up and you add in there যে ইমান খিনি আমাৰ tourism আমাৰ tourist আহিছিলে in the year of this one 2023, এতিয়া আমাৰ 20% hike হ'ল, 10% hike হ'ল. So all of these statistics and all you cannot add in a conclusion. Conclusion সে বেটার হয় যে আপোনালোকে এটলিষ্ট মেইন বডিত বা ইন্ট্রোডাকশনত ভৰাওক. ওকে, ফিট ইন কৰক. তেতিয়াহ'লে কনক্লুজনত কি লিখিব? কনক্লুজন নিডছ টু বি ভিজনাৰী. Okay, conclusion needs to present your past, the present and the future of relation to the in relation to the topic. For example, you're writing about tourism, then you have to present that in the past there was something. Okay, in the past amar tourism from Huensang, for example, Huensang jodi started. In the present eneke amar government schemes, and you have to write a closing statement, right? Then it is already worked out, it is been working মানে ধৰি লওক different types of আমি এনেকে এনেকে কৰি আছো. Okay, but not facts. You have to give a generalized statement there, and in the end you have to be visionary. You have to write what is it in future that you can write or you can feed it in the topic. For example, you can write that since আমাৰ already biodiversity আছে, this আছে, that আছে, so how you can think of exploiting those techniques. Okay, how you can think of exploiting those facts by exploiting the যিমান আমাৰ ধৰোহৰ আছে সেইটো কেনেকৈ আমি এক্সপ্লইট কৰি পেলাই we can extend the tourism in aspect in the state of Assam. So it will be kind of a merger of a way forward and a merger of a visionary attitude যোনটো আমাৰ থাকে. Poverty case to how suppose Mahatma Gandhi imagined a poverty-less country. So you can drag up things like that. তাত আপোনালোকে অলপ artistic কৰিব contentটো. Don't add content there. Don't add যে আমাৰ ইমান হৈ গ'ল, ইমান বাকি আছে. Not like that. You have to make it a bit more than informative. You have to make it a bit innovative. Okay, you have বা ধৰি লওক যদি আপুনি ষ্টৰিটো কণ্টিনিউ কৰিছিলে, তো এই ছেইম ষ্টৰি লাইনটো আপোনালোকে এণ্ডিং দিব পাৰে. যদি কোটেশ্যনটো দিছিলে, চ' বেলেগ এটা কোটেশ্যনেদি আপোনালোকে এণ্ডিং কৰিব পাৰে. So you can keep a match on it, you can keep a balance on it, but don't add facts there, because facts and everything in the conclusion hole it starts becoming a bit incomplete. তেতিয়া এনেকুৱা লাগিব মানে conclusion নিচিনা সেই লুকটো আউটলুকটো নাহে. Okay, so you should add up generic statements, you should add up your viewpoints, you should add up viewpoints of very famous people, personalities, তেখেতসকলে কেনেকৈ ভাবিছিলে বা ইণ্ডিয়াখন কেনেকৈ ইমেজিন কৰিছিলে, অসমখন কেনেকৈ ইমেজিন কৰিছিলে, তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ বস্তুলৈ টানি আনিব. এণ্ড দেন ইউ কনক্লুড উইথ দ্য ষ্টেটমেণ্ট উইথ আ ভেৰি পজিটিভ এছপেক্ট যে এতিয়া যদিও হোৱা নাই কিবা এটা বস্তু, পভাৰ্টি কেছত ছাপ'জ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল ইফ ইট ইজ ভেৰি বেড, দ্য চিটুৱেশ্যন ইজ ভেৰি বেড, দেন অলছ' you are optimistic that in the future it is going to happen. In the future, India will definitely combat poverty. Okay, that apnaloke facts nahi dibo 56% of the poverty is done. All of this has to be added in the main body or the introduction, but not in the conclusion. Okay, so that is one thing. Casual language and casual words. Okay, this should be avoided. It casual বুলি ক'লে যোনবিলাকে আপোনালোকে personal already মানে ধৰি লওক evaluation পাইছে definitely গম পাইছে casual কেনেকে হয় words বিলাক. For example, let's see what will happen in the essay. সেই তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ statements বিলাক নিদিব. Okay, let's see what will happen, let's understand what will happen in this essay, and there are many other casual statements, but this is person to person, it differs. বহুতে এইটো মই বহুত কম দেখিছো. Out of 10 candidates, 2 or 3 candidates have use some casual words or statements. So don't avoid any form of casuality in casual form of language in the essay. Okay. Redundancy, very important. Redundancy, I have seen, is a very common factor in case of candidates. Okay, redundancy এনেকুৱা হয় যে আপোনালোকে ধৰি লওক introduction লিখি দিলে যে we have natural beauty, you say that there are 7 national parks, there are 7 this 7 মানে biosphere reserves আছে, world heritage sites আছে, and then again when you write about natural tourism or wildlife tourism, you write the same points again. Avoid that. লাগিলে আপোনালোকে কোনোবা এটা স্কিপ কৰিব লাগিব, এণ্ড ইফ ইউ ডু ৱান্ট টু প্ৰেজেণ্ট ইন both of the like points, যদি আপোনালোকে ইন্ট্ৰডাকশ্যনটো মেনশ্যন কৰিব বিচাৰিছে, then in the introduction point don't mention the numbers or don't mention the data or don't mention the stats that you can use in the main body. So make sure that you don't repeat your content. Okay, when you're writing wildlife tourism, then the content should be specific to wildlife tourism in that section only. Don't repeat it in the conclusion again, don't repeat it in the introduction again. So that also you have to take into consideration. Both okolor etu tendency eta thake that they try to repeat the same statements also sometimes. For example, they write tourism is very, let's say, has a great potential in Assam. After 2-3 lines they'll again write that natural beauty and this, because of this, tourism in Assam is very has like can find a lot of potential. So don't try to write the same statements also. Statements should be unique, otherwise the essay becomes very monotonous. So you have to fix your content je etu content yat likhim, etu content yat likhim, hetu ami pre structuring or korim je kenege structuring to koribo lage, but kindly try to reduce the redundancy in the essay. Okay, that is a very important component, because likhi thakote gom napai je apnaloke statement bile complete kori goi ase ne nai, মানে সেম লিখি আছে নেকি বা চেঞ্জ কৰিছে নেকি. সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু ইউজ আ প্ৰেজেন্স অফ মাইণ্ড, ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি ভেৰি কেয়াৰফুল দেট ইউ ডোণ্ট ৰিপিট ইয়ৰ কণ্টেণ্ট. অ'কে, ৱেডাৰ ইট ইজ ইন ইন্ট্ৰডাকশ্যন, ৱেডাৰ ইট ইজ ইন কনক্লুশ্যন. যদি বস্তুখিনি ইন্ট্ৰডাকশ্যনত ভৰাই দিছে, আকৌ গৈ পেলাই আপোনালোকে কাইণ্ডলি সেইটো বস্তুকে ছেইম বস্তুটোকে গৈ পেলাই আকৌ কনক্লুশ্যনত নিলিখিব. সেই ছেইম বস্তুকে ঘূৰাই পকাই ইন এ ডিফাৰেণ্ট লেংগুৱেজ, ডোণ্ট ট্ৰাই টু ইন্ট্ৰডিউচ ইন দি কনক্লুশ্যন আগেন. অ'কে. Paragraph size, this is another important issue that I've seen, and the last issue that I've seen with the candidates. Suppose you keep on writing and then suddenly you don't know that what মানে কিমান লেন্থত আপোনালোকে লিখি গৈ আছে. Okay, so for example, you write introduce tourism, and then likute you forget to break the paragraph, and then approximately one page you write in one paragraph only, one entire page you're writing in one paragraph only. Then there's another trend. আপোনালোকে এটা মানে ব্ৰেক কৰিলে, and then you write just one liner paragraph, and then you again start another paragraph. So paragraphs need a proper break. Okay, paragraphs have to be very equally divided also. You cannot just write paragraphs in any number of let's say যিকোনো ফৰ্মত আপোনালোকে লিখিব নোৱাৰে. That brings up a very bad what I could say, a very bad impression. Okay, so what you can do is, for example, you're writing a quote, for example, you're writing a story at the very beginning, you can put up in that in a single paragraph. Hey quote to ke apnaloke bujai dile, hey story to ke apnaloke bujai dise. In the next you link it up, obviously first one line you link it up with the previous statement, previous paragraph, and then you continue with it, but you write at least 5, you can write 5 to 6 lines in one paragraph. Then likewise for every particular main body, for example, in tourism you write wildlife tourism, then you write one paragraph. If there is an extended content, you can make a maximum of 2 paragraphs. Then you make natural tourism, then you write 2 paragraphs, 1 paragraph. You write ethnic, you make 2 paragraphs, 1 paragraph, like that. In one paragraph you can add at least a minimum or maximum of 4 to 5 lines বা 6 lines maximum. Hey bole apnaloke continue kori pele eta page or eta paragraph without any break nilikhibo, very bad impression. Okay, also another request is that, for example, you write wildlife tourism for 2 paragraphs, don't write natural tourism for 5 to 6 paragraphs. Even you do have many or a huge amount of content over that one particular topic, try to reduce it and try to make it look or give it a very balanced outlook. Jiman apnaloke wildlife karone manage korise, himan apnaloke natural karone korok. For example, medical tourism you cannot write 2 paragraphs, you can just write 1 paragraph, so that is fine. Tea tourism you can write 2 paragraphs. wildlife, natural, then ethnic tourism, you can write two paragraphs, right? Soft power diplomacy, you can just write one paragraph. Gateway of the Northeast, Assam as a gateway to the Southeast Asia, just one paragraph. So that is why one or two paragraphs, they always give a good impression. Okay, but try to have a balanced, I would say, outlook, so that it does not look like you know a lot about one particular topic and you don't know anything about the next two. Okay, but you don't like compare to the previous topic that আপোনালোকৰ এনেকুৱা লাগিব নালাগে এছেখন যে ও এই মানুহজনে এই টপিকটো বিষয়ে বেছিকে জানে বা এই টপিকটো বিষয়ে মানে বিষয়ে কমকে জানে কাৰণে বেছি সামাৰাইজ কৰি দিলে. Okay, so the entire outlook of the essay in this way it should be balanced. All right. So these are a few errors that I've seen that most candidates have been doing, and in general, I would say there's one more error that I've seen which I actually did not add here, and one of our candidates have pointed out very well about bulleting and about points. See, essay is a presentation of your thoughts and expressions. Okay, it is not exactly an expression of knowledge only. Our points and bullet system আপোনালোকে পাৰিলে GS পেপাৰ্ছত ইউজ কৰিব, বাট এছেট নকৰিব. এছেট try to keep an artistic look. So we don't write number 1, number 2, number 3 there. You write the same thing. You don't have to mess with the content. যদি আপোনালোকে লিখিছে suppose challenges in tourism, you're writing lack of infrastructure. Okay, you can give a heading, you can give a subheading, lack of infrastructure, and then you keep on writing. You just don't have to put up these points. Flowcharts and tabulations in essay, they have no space there. Okay, we are not writing a research paper. We use tables and stuff when we have to represent a huge amount of data, but in essays we are not doing that. In essays we are mostly presenting our thoughts, we are presenting our expressions, we are presenting our knowledge, but it has to be in a very subtle and a very informative, but at the same time in a very artistic way. So ইয়াত আমি তো বহুত বেছি ইংলিশ লেভেলৰ আমি আৰ্টিষ্টিক ৱেটো কথা কোৱা নাই, but there should be a proper flow, there should be a structure. It shows that if you want to express something, how well or how clearly you can express. সেইকাৰণে এছে এক্সামিনেশ্যনটো বা এছে পেপাৰখন এটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কম্পনেণ্ট বুলি ধৰা যায়. এজন মানুহে যেতিয়া নিজৰ থটছখিনি ধুনীয়াকৈ প্ৰেজেণ্ট কৰিব পাৰে, ফৰ এক্সাম্পল আই হেভ চেক চ' মেনি এছেছ, আই ন' দেট দ্য প্ৰেজেণ্টেশ্যন ইজ নট চ' ক্লিয়াৰ. So it means that you have a problem in presenting your thoughts. So when in future you will be administrators, the first and foremost thing is your presentation and clarity of thoughts. So যদি আপোনালোকে পেন পেপাৰ যদি সেই বস্তুটো ইন হাফ এন আৱাৰ যদি প্ৰেজেণ্ট কৰিব নোৱাৰে, তেতিয়াহ'লে 5 মিনিটত আপোনালোকে নিজৰ থট প্ৰেজেণ্টেশ্যনটো কেনেকৈ কৰিব? That is a challenge. So that is how it's not a total, I would say, বহুত বেছি কানেক্টিভ মানে এটা I would say মানে ডিৰেক্ট এটা জাজমেণ্ট দিব নোৱাৰি তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা এক্সামিনেশ্যন দি, no doubt, but still you can still predict 70 to 80% how that person can be through an essay. Okay, so that is why bulleting and numbering, you do it in essay papers where you have like very small space, but yat amar sat space ase, yat amar sat thought express koribol jaga ase, so tat ami 1 2 3 nokoru. 1 2 3 ami ketia kor jeta we have just few points. Okay, there is a habit of a few candidates, you write shortcut statements in essay like you write in GS papers. For example, lack of furniture infrastructure bol likhi dibo, second lack of local guides, then insurgency. So teneke dhorone kintu essay nilikhe. In essay you have to be explanatory, so you have to say lack of infrastructure koi pela apnaloke tinta side line likhibo lagibo. So he paragraph or case ot jetia ami likhu, tetia we don't have any space for bulleting there or numbering there. No tabulation should be there, tables and flow charts should not be there. But sometimes there is a possibility that you might okay taku in very, I would say, mandatory বা essential situations jot suppose apnaloke মানে incorporate nokorake নোৱাৰিব, in that মানে sense you can add up maps. Okay, maps can be added, that I can agree, but that is very less, বহুত কম situation এনেকুৱা আহিব য'ত আপোনালোকে maps বা তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিবা এটা add কৰিবলগীয়া হ'ব পাৰে. But other than that, try to follow these particular, I would say, yatke basically jodi apnalokor kabar kiba doubts ase, I will open the session now, but these are the major things that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so Kankana Devi, I hope, are you getting it, the why you cannot include bullet points? Because bullet points are included when you don't have time, when you have to explain in short. Okay, you write paragraphs then, but you don't number paragraphs. Okay, paragraph hey ami usually numbering use nokoru. All right. Yes, Kankana Devi, বুজি পাইছে? Is she there? Okay, anyway, so are you getting a like very basic idea on how to write an essay today? mostly writing an essay is a challenge because এইখিনি আমি মানে পুতুকে আমাৰ হাতত নাহিব পাৰে, but what is more important is if you're getting an idea of what mistakes not to do. Basically today's session was all about what not to do in an essay. Okay, what you have to do, that definitely আপোনালোকে লিখি থাকিলে গম পাব. Okay, so I'll open up the microphones for all. You can access your microphones. You can come up with any doubts if you have at your side. Oh yes, sorry. Before that, let me give you an idea on the structuring of the essay. Correct. So structuring of the essay মানে কি হয়, যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে এটা particular ধৰি লওক essay লিখিব, suppose for example, okay, in this case only here. So if the topic is given to you, don't straight away start writing an answer, don't straight away start writing the essay. Okay, you have to first structure it. First recall যে আপনার ওচৰত কি কি ডেটা আছে, for example quotation আপনার ওচৰত কি কি লিস্টিং আছে, you like in short আপোনালোকে rough work যত তাত থাকে আপোনালোকে চাৰিটা পাঁচটা বা তিনটা বা দুটাই হওক বা এটাই suppose মনত থাকিলে সেই quotationটো আপোনালোকে mark কৰি থৈ দিলে. Next, if you have any storyline, okay, you can make 2 or 3 storylines, that is fine. Next, you make a list of statistics, and numbers blag likhili ki statistics ase that you design. Now one by one, these are the basic things that you have to remember. For example, potential ase, potential kotha jodi hudise, then you write all the mane in keywords. Okay, for example, ethnic tourism likhidle, wildlife tourism, natural tourism, all these you first make a list. হৈ গ'ল. নাও ইউ ডিচাইড ইণ্ট্ৰ' পাৰ্টত আপোনালোকে কি লিখিব, একদম পেৰাগ্ৰাফ বা পেৰাগ্ৰাফ ডিচাইড কৰি ল'ব পাৰে. মইতো পেৰাগ্ৰাফ বা পেৰাগ্ৰাফ ডিচাইড কৰিছিলোঁ. যদি আপোনালোকে ধৰি লওক আপোনাৰ ৰাইটিং ফৰ্মটো যদি ভাল হয়, then you can stick to intro যে আপোনাৰ কণ্টেণ্ট কি ভৰাব. মই আপোনাৰ ইনিচিয়েলি পেৰাগ্ৰাফ টু পেৰাগ্ৰাফো মই ডিচাইড কৰোঁ যে এইটো পেৰাগ্ৰাফ মই এইখিনি ষ্টেটিষ্টিক্স ভৰাম, নেক্সট পেৰাগ্ৰাফ মই এনেকৈ লিংক কৰি দ্য এণ্টায়াৰ ঢাঁচা আই ইউজ টু প্ৰিপেয়াৰ. অ'কে, চ' দেন আই উড গ' টু দ্য মেইন বডিত মই এইখিনিখিনি পইণ্টছ লিখিম. ষ্টেটছ তেতিয়া মই ডিচাইড কৰোঁ যে এই ষ্টেটটো মই এইটোত ভৰাম, এই ষ্টেটটো মই এইটো পইণ্টত ভৰাম, এইটো ষ্টেটছ মই ইণ্ট্ৰত ভৰাম. I decide that. Okay. In the same way, for example, if the storyline is there, then how I would proceed. Storyline to likhi pelai moi connection to keneke anim, kuntu paragraph moi connection anim, connect kori pelai moi keneke he bostu to body le main body le convert korim. Then let's say if there are 2-3 components in the essay itself. For example, yeah, tourism and its potential will di ase. So potential logot jodi challenges o die. Okay, about dhoi koi die je potential jagat apnalokor jodi likhi de improvement ba strategies to improve বা strategies for increasing potential, তেতিয়া সেই ধৰণৰ মই strategy-টো বা সেই ধৰণৰ মই body content-টো তেনেকৈ বনাই ল'ম. অ'কে, বনোৱাৰ পিছত I'll move on যে মই এইখিনি content বনাই পেলাই মোৰ এইটো paragraph ইমান হৈ I'll check the word limit যে minimum মই এটা লাইনত সেইটো আপোনালোকে সবে pre-decided থাকে, right? For example, I can write 8 to 10 words in a statement in one line. In one line. So here line to suppose my 8-10 hole mane mur eta page approximately suppose 100 man words aile. For that means I'll write an essay for, if it is for 125 or like for APSc, then I will write some 10 to 11 pages. For CDPO, if it is like 50 pages, so I will write around 7 to 8 pages max, or 5 to 6 pages at max. So also remember one thing, that the number of pages should be minimum amar jonto the basic standard of numbers ase that you have to follow. He boli jodi apnaloke essay kon 3 page likhi thode, then also it will not work. Okay, so if the word limit is not given, then to I believe paper apnalokok dia thake, there will be no bar on pages, jothesto amount of pages dia thake, APSc to dia thakibo, baki blog exams or departmental blog to dia thake. So apnaloke minimum holeo at least 500 to 600 words a minimum essay likhibo laibo for departmental exams if it is for a 50 words, 50 marks examination. So that would mean around 6 to 7 pages. Okay, for APSc mains, you can write around 10 to 11 pages at max. Length of essay and the amount of content, okay, that you add, it does not mean that just because apna loke 10 pages likhi se that will give you much or that will fetch you good marks. In that content, it has to have good amount of presentation, it has to have good amount of a story, flow, structure, statistics, and all of it that we have discussed today. Okay, so kabar CDPO, suppose for example I'm saying কোনোবা যদি 5-6টা পেজ লিখিছে, you might score out of 50 35 to 30 marks, and কোনোবা 12টা পেজ লিখি পেলাই you might not score more than 20 marks. So don't stick to the length alone, you have to stick on the value addition of the essay also. Okay, so I hope you're getting an idea of the pre-structuring. Ekhini amar hoise pre-structuring. Now I'll open up the session for discussion, and you can ask me any questions if you have from your end. Okay, otherwise I'll close the session for today. How can we improve our presentation skill? So presentation skill, Jyoti Sharma, it depends on the way or the different kinds of problems that you have with your presentation. For example, if you don't write neatly, that is one issue. that is one problem. Kata kati কৰি পেলাই যদি আপোনালোকে বেছি লিখে, that mostly happens if you don't structure your essay. মই statement wise লেকে usually ভাবি লওঁ যে মই এইখিনি statementত এইখিনি points লিখিম বা এইখিনি paragraphত এইখিনি content মই ভৰাম, okay? So it is important that when you write your essay, you don't strike off too many words. It's a common habit among candidates because they think it shows that you are writing along with the timing that you're thinking. Actually, you should frame your sentence first and then you should try to write. So, a lot of time like pare. For example, in strategizing the entire essay, jete ami strategize koru, tete tat amar approximately 20-25 minutes jaboy. Take your time. It might take half an hour also. For an essay, we get around 3 hours in our APC mains, and for যোনটো আমাৰ CDPO বা তেনেকৈ ধৰণৰ ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টেল এক্সামছ থাকে, ইংলিছ পেপাৰটো আমি তেনেকুৱা 3 ঘণ্টা 2 ঘণ্টামান পাওঁৱে। চ' লিখাত আমাৰ বেছি টাইম নালাগে, but structuring and thinking takes more time, okay? So for that you cannot be impulsive, like এইটো point লিখিলো তেনেকৈ নহয়। You think, মানে for every line give 10 seconds. Next you write these examples. Towards while writing also কিছুমান বস্তু আপোনালোকৰ incorporate বা মানে inbuilt আহি গৈ থাকিব, you can keep following that, but the moment you're trying to switch the paragraph, try to go back and see that you're continuing the flow or not, okay? Don't just abruptly go on writing without even looking back. At least দুটামান paragraph previous আপুনি পঢ়ক, কাৰণ গোটেই এছেখন আপোনালোকে পঢ়ি পেলাই মানে লিখি গৈ থাকিব নোৱাৰে। At least 2 paragraphs previous paragraphs খিনি পঢ়ক যে okay এইখিনি মই কৰিলো। Just keep on ensuring that this flow and structure is there, okay? Second bostu is that try to use a good pen and do not try to strike off. Try to write in straight lines. Try to have gap between your statements. The line spacing should be very clear. Eta statement apni goi pela suppose thakiu gol tetia mane tat letha metake jate apnaloke place koribo pare. So that is why at least keep a gap of around 3 to 4 centimeters at least minimum thakibo lage, okay? Not more than that. So your entire page should cover at least 10 to 15 lines, not more than that. The APSC যোনখন আমাৰ কাগজ থাকে, যোনখন আমাৰ sheet থাকে, তাৰে আমাৰ maximum 10 to 11 lines থাকে। কিছুমানে line spacing নিদিলেও বহুত ধুনীয়াকৈ লিখিব পাৰে। So that's another issue. But if you're having a problem of neatness, if you're having a problem of striking off a lot of things, striking off or etai upay ase that you have to write slowly, think and write, okay? It means that you're not thinking, you're just impulsively writing. So it mostly happens যে আপোনালোকে পেনটো just ঘূৰাই গৈছে because of dearth of time, but that does not mean that does not work there. In essay you have to be steady. You have to go with the minimum speed that will help you write your essay. In case of 3 hours, at least 1.5 ঘণ্টাত আপোনাৰ essay, তাৰ মানে half an hour যদি আপোনালোকে prepare কৰি লয়, 1 ঘণ্টাত এখন essay শেষ হৈ যায়, okay? In fact বাছি যাব time lastত. And the next thing is about the line spacing. Jodi neatness or issue ase, then you should use line spacing olop akhor khini dangor ke guta ke. That way you have to continue the essay. Mane neatness and presentation of word, okay? Jyotish Sharma, am I able to answer you? Kankana, how to remember quotes for most of the topics? This is all upon practice. So you have to collect your quotes in one page. Jodi apnaloke randomly topic ahibo boli gom pai, still moi jano je random nahe, okay? That depends on your previous year's essays and previous year's experience. Jodi apnalokor ase, then definitely random nahe. He 5 kon man essay bitor ba 3 kon essay he choice koribole মানে options to দিয়ে। So তাৰে ভিতৰত এখন essay definitely common পৰিব। That won't be an issue anyway, okay? So the idea is that generalize কিছুমান যদি quotes নাই, then you can start with a মানে innovated or a very good storyline. It's not necessary that you have to put a quote in the essay, but if you can put, if your luck is good and if the topic falls common with your preparation, then আপুনি quote ভৰাই দিব। নহলে you can come up with good introductions without quotations also. In fact, in my essays I have never been able to, but I have never incorporated quotations as such, okay? Last year মই essay assamesত লিখি বাকি পেপাৰ ইংলিছত লিখিছিলোঁ, এইবাৰো এনেকুৱা কৰিব পৰা যাব নেকি? প্ৰাচুৰ্য দত্তা, I am not so sure। এইটো ইনফৰমেশ্যন চাগে আপুনি কমিশ্যনৰ পৰা পাব, নহ'লে you'll have to call the helpline there because এইবাৰ যিহেতু মই দিয়া নাই, so I have a little bit idea about this, okay? So এবাৰ চাই ল'ব, most probably দিবতো লাগে, যিহেতু যোৱাবাৰ হৈছে যেতিয়া definitely এইবাৰো দিব লাগে, okay? APC mains or essay বোৰ চাব লাগিব নে ma'am? No, mains হওক essays হওক, essay basically you have to go for the topic. You have to go for the topics, okay? Don't strategize based on previous year's essays only. Previous year's topic কিন্তু লবই, তাৰ লগত additionally নতুন topics বিলাকো আপোনালোকে চাব। Can we write point wise in essay? Yeah, we have just discussed this, Lisa Deka. Please do not write in bullets or please do not use points in your essay. Try to write in paragraphs only for essay specifically. GSR, it's your wish, however, you can use it. Can I use question sentence? Yeah, okay, good question. Yeah. Vayunshi Borwa era बहुत important aspect this hai. This is again one of the demerits and one of the most, I would say, advantageous things that might help you in securing good marks at the same time drawback ho jao pare. So questions using to আমাৰ এছেট আমি কেনেকৈ প্লেচ কৰিছোঁ okay, that is important. It has to be a bit interactive usage of questions. For example, the question should be mind boggling, ঠিক আছে, এনেকুৱা নহয় যে don't question the invigilator. Do you want to know what potential is sorry, let me rephrase it. Do you want to know what is the tourism potential in Assam? Let's see in the essay. This is very vague. Don't use something like this. You can use it the other way around. Doesn't it isn't it interesting to find such huge potential in Assam, such huge tourism potential Assam? Use it like this. Okay. So the question should not be informal. The question should not be asked to the invigilator. Don't use you, don't use they, don't use me, don't use I. Just use generalized questions. Just use mind boggling or questions in a way that questions the entire I would say the concept. Okay. Use it around the concept. For example, do the challenges for in case of poverty মই এটা example দিছোঁ আকৌ for example যদি আপোনালোকে ক'ব বিচাৰে যে however is it enough এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ question. For example, government initiatives লৈছে, however is it enough, is this all that we can do, question mark. That sort you can do. Okay, unanimous. But এনেকুৱা you, can you do this, can you do that, have you seen this, did you see this, তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিছুমান incorporations I've seen, but that is not going to help. That will not secure you good questions, good marks. Are you getting the difference? বুজি পাইছে না অলপমান মানে the difference? Or should I repeat it? Vayanshi Borwa, am I a bit clear? মানে এইটো একচুৱেলি ইংলিছৰ পাৰ্চপেক্টিভৰ পৰা বুজালে ভাল আছিলে বাট মইতো তেনেকৈ ইংলিছ নপঢ়াওঁ চ' আই হেভ নো আইডিয়া হাউ টু এক্সপ্লেইন দিছ
Yes, ma'am.
Vayanshi
Got it.
Borwa, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
One second. Yeah, come again.
Yes, ma'am.
বুজি
Yes, ma'am.
পাইছে
Got it.
ডিফাৰেঞ্চটো মই কেনেকৈ কৈছোঁ প্লেচিং অফ কুৱেশ্যনছ
হয় হয় মেম মোৰ এটা কুৱেশ্যন আছে আৰু এটা ৰিলেট কৰা
অ'কে ঠিক আছে
হয়
চ' আই হোপ দি
সাপোজ
yes
মেম যদি গ্লোবেল ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জৰ ওপৰত এখন এছে আহিছে সাপোজ মই ধৰি
hello
লৈছো হেল্ল' মেম
okay yeah sure go ahead আপুনি মিউট হৈ গ'ল
হেল্ল' মেম can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
মেম যদি এখন এছে আহে গ্লোবেল ক্লাইমেট
can hear you.
চেঞ্জৰ ওপৰত অ'কে সাপোজ মই এখন এছে লৈছো গ্লোবেল ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ আৰু তাত মই এটা কুৱেশ্যন কৰিছো ইটো পেৰেগ্ৰাফৰ লগত ইটো পেৰেগ্ৰাফ লিংক কৰিবৰ কাৰণে চ' এইটো এনেকৈ কুৱেশ্যন কৰিব পাৰিনে তাৰ মাজত দুটা পেৰেগ্ৰাফৰ মাজত এটা কুৱেশ্যন আনি দিব পাৰিনে
Yeah, sure. Of course. You can use questions wherever you want to. Just keep in mind the quality of the question. মানে question to informal হ'ব নালাগে. You can put up questions anywhere in the middle and don't fill up too many questions in the essay. That will also not bring a good impact. See, ultimately, please remember one thing, the term balance has to be maintained. You can include questions in like after 3-5 paragraphs যদি আপোনালোকে কিবা বা ধৰি লওক যেতিয়া ট্ৰানজিশ্যনটো লৈছে তেতিয়া also you can use a question. That is fine. Like for example, is the tapping or the untapped potential of Assam truly recognized for that, like that questions like tenekwa dibo. Okay, so tenekwa dhৰণৰ questions আপোনালোকে হেৰিটো দিব পাৰে within the paragraph also you can give. Okay, inside the paragraph also you can give, at the end of paragraph also you can give. The only ultimate problem or the only thing that you have to be careful about is how and what kind of question you are framing. Okay, that is required. Am I clear? Okay. Some probable burning topic for essay. মই আজিতো তেনেকৈ একো probable burning টপিকটো অনা নাই বাট কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্ছ আপোনালোকে উইমেনৰ ওপৰতো ডেফিনেটলি চাবই এনভাইৰনমেণ্টৰ ওপৰত আপোনালোকে চাব আৰু লেট মি টেল ইউ ওৱান মোৰ থিং when you, like for example, in the previous year there were many like options, there were many মানে যোনখিনি আমাৰ APC মেইনছৰ কথাই কৈছোঁ যেনিবা তাতে ছাপ'জ আপোনাৰ মষ্টলি কি কৰিব এছেছবিলাক জেনেৰেলাইজড দিব বাট এটা দুটা এছে থাকিব পাৰে ফৰ এক্সাম্পল অন চেট GPT দিছিলে চ' ট্ৰাই টু মেক চিয়'ৰ দেট ইউ ডোণ্ট ৰাইট এন এছে উইচ হেজ এ ভেৰি নেৰ'ড পাৰচেপশ্যন তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে কণ্টেণ্ট বনাব নোৱাৰিব 10-12 পেজৰ কাৰণে okay the selection of essay is important so burning topic হ'লেও kindly make it usually কি হ'ব directly আপোনালোকক burning topic টোৰ ওপৰত লিখিবলৈ কেতিয়াও নিদিয়ে they will only revolve around it okay next is essay connectivity to keneke anim any idea connectivity like I said it's all upon practice so you have to keep your I would say the most important thing is this is a skill it's not like you'll keep on thinking aru apnaloke sidha exam ot ulai ahibo paribo mane teneke nohobo you have to practice on it you cannot simply in a day or two apnalokor teneke connectivity to nahe you have to keep writing a few essays at least 7 to 8 essays you have to write then you'll get an idea je connectivity to keneke frame kore usually connectivity thake but the connectivity is only compromised in the introduction and in the conclusion so hetuhe apnaloke besi practice koribo body connectivity usually thake tat iman problem nai but jete apnaloke transition lobo from introduction to body from body to conclusion then only you'll get a problem in connecting okay so that way you have to practice jodi apnalokor problem hoy connection or connectivity then practice is the only solution for that okay all right any more questions
মেম এটা কুৱেশ্যন আছিলে হেল্ল'
yes go ahead
মেম ইন্ট্ৰডাকশ্যনটো আমি এটা পেৰাগ্ৰাফত লিখিলে ভাল নে আমি 2-3টা পেৰাগ্ৰাফ কৰিব পাৰোঁ
Okay, this is also a good question. The thing is, it depends on how you are presenting your introduction. Jodi apnaloke introduction not bule enekwa dhoroner topic ase jot you have to put stats also and you have to give a definition also. Then you can make 2-3 paragraphs, not a problem. Mane first page to apnaloke 3টা paragraph ot kori introduction dibo pare. But it should not go beyond 2-3 paragraphs, I must say. Because তেতিয়া কি হ'ব মেইন বডিটোলে মানে মেইন বডিটো ট্ৰানজিশ্যন হ'বলৈ যদি বেছি দেৰি লাগি যায় তেতিয়া ৰিডাৰজনে ইণ্টাৰেষ্টটো অলপমান হেৰাই যায় অ'কে so for example if you write on tourism let's say you have given a brief মানে story hawk introduction hawk sorry quotation hawk hetu duta tinta line ot introduce kori dile first paragraph then one paragraph you can write on the statistics one paragraph you can write on the definition but first definition then the statistics poverty suppose likhi dile first duta man paragraph apnalok story ba artistic eta heri di dile kiba ta presentation di dile then you have to write on the statistics right you have to write on the status of India's status to ki Ahomor status ki then you can introduce poverty definition bilak ki mane likewise poverty first define korbo lage niyom mote definition to di pela you add up statistics so all of this shall or should take not more than 3 paragraphs given the space jiman khini amar space thake it should finish in the first page itself okay ba khub beshi 1.5 page tatke beshi na lage tatke beshi apnaloke parapokhot introduction to bohala ni dibo okay
ঠিক আছে মেম থেংক ইউ
anything else ma'am can we okay can we rewrite a paragraph after striking or cutting with a single line after the realization that it needs to be modified or rectified? See, this is something that I will totally avoid. When striking or cutting, mane absolutely avoid korbo lagibo in essay because it shows that you're not sure with presentation. I mean, with a clear presentation of your thoughts. Okay, it brings a very bad impression. So striking at the first place is not an option at all. If you realize it needs rectification, you have to modify it with the written content itself. আৰু সেইকাৰণে মই কৈছোঁ যদি আপোনালোকৰ এইটো ফ্ৰিকুৱেণ্টলি হয় দেন আপুনি যেতিয়া এছেখন প্ৰি ডিজাইন কৰিব তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে ভাবি ল'ব যে এইটো পাৰ্টত মই এইটো লিখিম এইটো পাৰ্টত মই এইটো লিখিম যদি লেংগুৱেজৰ প্ৰব্লেম হৈছে বোলে সেইটো আপোনাৰ ফ্ৰেমিংটো ভাল নহ'ল স্কিপ ইট কাটি পেলাই -1 এটা যোৱাতকৈ ইন দ্য ফ্ল' সেই লাইনটো গুচি যাব কিন্তু যেতিয়া আপুনি কাটি দিব তেতিয়াহে এইটো বেছি ফ'কাছত আহিব okay এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আপোনালোকৰ প্ৰটেক্টটো লাইন এণ্ড প্ৰটেক্টটো ৱৰ্ডৰ পৰা আপোনালোকৰ এছেখন জাজ হ'ব এছে উইল বি জাজড on an overall overview right overall এটা আপোনালোকৰ প্ৰেজেন্টেশনটো কেনেকুৱা হেতুত চোৱা হ'ব কিন্তু তাতে যদি আপোনালোকে তিনটামান কাটাকাটি কৰি দিয়ে সেই বস্তুটো কিন্তু বেছি চকুতকে পৰি যায় so if it is a general line jodi apnaloke rewrite korbo bisaise try to adjust with the written content only and then you move ahead but striking it তেতিয়া বেছিকে ফ'কাছত আহি যাব and then they will understand that you did not write what you wanted to write but without striking it if you can manage that is the first and foremost I would say remedy for that. But rectification, striking out or through, that I will totally not. I will not like favor. I will not say that that is an option at all for essay. Okay, so try to avoid that as a whole. Okay. All right. Any more? Any more queries?